Welcome back to the store, and today we are going to take a look at the new Odyssey releases released this November to go alongside their fantastic Ai One range that they released this time last year. We're sorry it's been a long time. We've been building a fifth store here in Biggleswade, and we're going to bring you this video from our new putting green in store. Remember, if you like our channel, please hit that subscribe button and tell all your golfing friends. So it's been a busy few weeks for us building a new store, as I've just said, but in that meantime, Odyssey have produced some new additions to their putter range. Now, this time last year, Ai One was born. That is where the technology in the head is following what they've done in the drivers over the last few seasons, where they've really used AI technology to find the right sort of face model behind each putter. Now, they brought these out in two different models, the milled and the standard. The milled being the kind of bronzy finish, a little bit firmer, a little more of a clicky, metally finished, and the Ai One standard, which is this white, traditional Odyssey look, in my opinion. Now, we reviewed these last year. You can go back and see that video. We reviewed the putters when they came out. They launched some models last November, and then they released the new models back in February of this year. So the great thing with Odyssey is they've got a lot of really quality head designs that suit a lot of different golfers. Now, what they've done over the last few years, Odyssey, is they've also managed to throw an absolute bucket load of technology at different putters. So throughout the years, they've changed, they've gone with different head designs. So if I take this one I've got in my hand here, which is the new Jailbird 2-ball Mini, right? Let's get it out there, there's a lot going on there. So they've brought in their 2-ball technology, they've brought in their Jailbird technology, they've got their Stroke Lab shaft technology, and they've got their face technology. So even on the simplest model, or what I'd call the simplest model, what Callaway and Odyssey have done really well is they've started to put all of these different technologies together, all these different designs and concepts, to really help you do two things. Number one, line the putter up. Number two, and this is where this sort of putter is really focused on, is speed control. Right? One of the things that Odyssey really talked about when they went down this road of Ai One a year ago was the consistency of distance and the consistency of pace off of the putter. Now, why the two models? Well, you can argue about that a little bit. For me, it's about the feel for the player. For me, I've said this before in a few videos, is the white face feels very soft and buttery, a bit like the original white hots back in the day, whereas the milled is a little bit more clicky. And I think this is where the feedback comes from most of the tour players. They want to hear a little bit more of a traditional click and a hit once they've hit it. So it's a bit of a firmer feel. They're the main differences in terms of the faces for me. So you've got the 2-ball Jailbird Mini in the milled. You've got 5, 6 models in each come out. There's a couple that haven't quite reached market yet. I'm doing this in the middle of early November, so there's a couple that haven't quite got there yet, but there are around 6 models coming out prior to Christmas. But the one that is interesting is this one, which is the Jailbird Mini T. Now, Jailbird and Odyssey will say this, and I think if you look at some of the tour stats from DP World, Live, if you look at the PGA Tour, I think if you look globally on tours, the Jailbird putter has been an absolute success story for Odyssey. Now, why? Personally, I don't really get it, because I can't stand that type of putter. I don't like that big mallet style putter with lots going on. That's where the Mini does come in, however, because they've made sure they've shrunk down the head to make a miniature version of the Jailbird. But what they've also done is you could change the pattern on the back. So you've got, rather than the blue and the white, you've now got a blue, and I guess it's kind of a platinum-y type finish, which dulls it down a little bit, makes it a little bit more classy. I like that in the milled. I think it looks a little bit more expensive as well. And you've also got the Versa technology. So this is really everything in this putter. It does help if you do struggle to square the face up at address. This has got a lot of stuff going on that can really help. But look, let me get it behind the ball and let's see what I think. I mean, it does look neater. It does look more compact from my perspective. It does look more compact than the standard Jailbird. Yeah, let's just see how it goes. So we'll start with Jailbird Mini in the milled, and I think if we get that directly behind the golf ball, you can see how compact it is. Again, from my view, and again, we've got an awful lot of comments lately on the YouTube channel where apparently being subjective isn't a good thing. Now, I'm not saying it's the only thing, however, I do believe it is really, really important for a player. How a putter sits, how it suits your eye, how it feels is really, really important. Yes, we can go on Sam Putt Lab, yes, we can measure the data, and absolutely, but sometimes I think in golf we've gone a little bit too far with the data, and actually a bit of an old-fashioned feel and look actually helps. So when I put this behind the ball, we all know what we like. To be honest with you, I actually don't mind that. I think the fact that it's a mini is really helping me. I don't like something, I'm a golfer that doesn't want something too cumbersome, as much as I actually need a little bit of help. And so things like the Versa will actually help me, because I do struggle to get the face square at address. The Versa is actually helping on this. I think what I don't like is having a big head, so this is really working quite nicely. I'm not sure, the one thing I think they might have missed a trick on here, and I don't know if Chris can come to the camera, is for some reason, and there's probably a reason why, is the dots are still white. Now, that might just be me being a bit picky, but I think they could have done those in the same colour as the Versa and made an absolute gem of a looking putter. So let's have a couple of rocks. You can hear that little click off the face, obviously an absolute shove. Now, in terms of balance, pretty face balanced. I'm typically a player that wants a little bit of toe hang. You'll see that I have to really struggle to square face on a, I mean, that was horrendous. Really struggle to square face on a face balanced putter, but that's just me. What you can't argue with is the feel. You really can't. I mean, the milled version of this is really, really nice. Oh, such a shove. Chris, you haven't got them on camera, have you? Blimey. Well, I mean, there's going to be, how many comments are going to be just aim more left? I mean, how many more putts do you want to miss to the right? Distance control feels really good. I actually really am impressed with this putter. Again, it's only a model change, so don't get yourself too caught up in the fact that they've done something different to the milled version that they brought out a year ago. They haven't. Well, that was horrendous, that stroke. Ugh. Nearly went in though. They haven't done loads of it. What they've done is just looked at their best-selling models, their most popular models, and started to really put them together into something that can be a bit different this time of year. Now, Ai One standard. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. I used to be a big Odyssey white hot guy. Had a few different versions of the #1 or the Answer version. This is my type of putter in terms of the feel. I like it a little bit softer. I am still playing, and they'd hate me to say this, but I keep switching between my TaylorMade putter at the moment and my old trusty limited edition Odyssey. One thing I will say, oh man, that's horrible. Honestly, I don't know what they've done there. I think, well, I wasn't expecting that. It's the first time I've put this putter down, and one of the things we try to do in these videos is I don't do too much or any, if any, warm-up or practice with the clubs in terms of the look, because I really need to see that reaction. If I can I just come in there, Chris, and have a little look? So, years ago, Odyssey created something called the 2-ball blade, and I had one and it lasted about 8 holes because I just had enough of it. It was horrendous, right? I thought it was going to work for me. It was all the rage back when I was younger, 20 odd years ago. 2-ball putters, when they first came out, it was the thing, so I had to have one. I've always been an Answer guy and I've always struggled with 2-ball. But 2-ball was too hectic for me, so I went into 2-ball blade when they reduced that. Now, it was a really popular putter. They sold a lot of them. And they created this T, almost this T at the top. You can see it was like the T of the putter, if you like. But when that put that down, it's almost too thin. and it really stands out. I think it's almost as if the bits, the wings, and I completely understand the technology behind this, that they're trying to make sure that they're spreading the mass, they're making sure that this club putter is as stable as humanly possible. I get that. However, when you put it down, it's ugly. It's really ugly. And I can't take my eyes off the little T at the front. Maybe I should. It's fantastic. It's the first one I've rolled. Well, how's that? Standard face balanced. I'm going to hold every one of this now, and I can see it. No, good. Again, when you look at feel, talk about feel, it just feels brilliant. Off the face, absolutely top drawer. Like, seriously good. But this particular model, this new release, I don't think is the one for me. I'm just going to grab, let's unwrap one of these bad boys. So if I look at these two putters now, both have got the same technology. For me, I'm double wide all day long, right? Like a little bit of toe hang in there, that works beautifully. What they've done here is they've chucked in an awful lot of technology. They've got their 2-ball technology in there. They've got their Jailbird technology. I still think with these putters, what is really cool is the little window at the bottom so you can see the back of the face. I think that's a really, really cool thing. I get it. If you're a 2-ball fan and you love 2-ball, this will be a putter that you will like. There is no doubt. If you struggle with squaring the face up, in terms of address, I think the Versa version might be a bit better for you. This putter will work if you love 2-ball. I'm surprised they haven't put some lines on it. I'm sure they'll bring out at some point a tour lined version or something like that, because that could help as well. Overall, feel is absolutely fantastic with this putter, but for me, it's just a bit too much going on with the depth of change between the 2-ball face and the back of the putter, and it's not quite sitting my eye. I get it, guys. Odyssey, you've done an unbelievable job with this range of putters. For me, this isn't the one. I think if I was picking one of these two to go straight into the bag, I'm going Ai One milled Versa all day long. Guys, thanks for having a little watch of that video. Well, it's me slowly getting back into that content creation, so I'm going to try and create some more content now that we're free of building golf shops. Overall, the putters, really good. You know, I've seen this range this year has been very, very popular. Just adding a little bit to the range is always a good thing. They've used some of the technologies and some of the opinions of players out in the market that have said, well, okay, could you put this and this together and it works? And I think you've got 3 new models with the milled, you've got 3 with the Ai One. Price wise, they've stayed the same as well. So you've got £400 for your milled and you've got £250 for your standard. It's a great range of putters. They're not going to do too much with it. It's enough choice from a fitting perspective to play around with it. I think overall, Odyssey have had a great year in 2024, and I think they're going to have an even better year in 2025. We will get back on the content creation bus now. We're going to create some content in the run up to Christmas so you guys can watch and get ready for the 2025 season. But in the meantime, thanks for watching, and please hit that subscribe button.